All right, what's going on, guys? So, in order to get what you want out of life, you have to sacrifice. And I know a lot of people get scared thinking about sacrifice because they think they're giving up something for the rest of their life. But the truth of the matter is, sacrifice is not something that you do forever. You sacrifice for a period of time to get what you want. And every reward, the bigger it is, the more you have to sacrifice. Because certain things in this life have a big price tag. Like success has a big price tag. But in order to get there, you must sacrifice. There is no other way around it. Because everything in this life is an even exchange. You want to get that body, you got to sacrifice the Twinkies. You go to work, you give them your hard labor, they give you money. You go to the restaurant, you give them money, they give you food. Right? You take your girlfriend out, you give her time and attention, she gives you ass. Everything in this life is an even exchange. So what makes you think that you're just going to go around the system and you're just going to get everything you want out of life without sacrificing? And you think that you're going to get to the next level in life and you're still out there popping bottles every weekend. You're still out there buying sections every weekend to impress people that really don't care about you. People that add no value to your life. You need to sacrifice because everything in this life is an even exchange. And if you're not getting an even exchange out of it, then you are simply being exploited. For example, you have friendships that you're still constantly watering and they're never pouring into you. You're always pouring into them. You're always watering the plant, but they're never watering you. So you're being exploited because everything in life is an even exchange. So if you provide someone with friendship and they get value from being in your life, then you need to receive the same. Same thing with these women. And if you don't understand that, you're going to get used. You're going to get used and abused. Why? Because you don't understand that everything in life is an even exchange. So you're taking her out on dates every single week. You're giving her all your time and attention through text, and she's not giving you any ass. She's just using you for your time, for your attention, for your resources. She's using you like a toy. And you're sitting here like a jackass, and you're still texting her, you're still talking to her, you're still calling her, picking up her phone calls, being there for her when her tire blows up. And meanwhile, a guy that doesn't even care about her is blowing out her back. Because you don't understand that everything in this life is an even exchange. So if you're not getting an even value for what you're putting in, then you have to cut that shit off. If you're going to work and you're giving it too much effort, too much labor, and they're not compensating you correctly, then you got to cut that off. You got to learn that everything in this life is an even exchange. So understand, if you want something big, a life that's better than what you have right now, the sacrifice is going to be bigger as well because it's an even exchange. And you got to understand, this doesn't mean you're going to give this up for the rest of your life. So a lot of time people get scared. People say, I can't do that right now. I got to stunt on everyone. I got to go out and pop bottles every weekend. I got to go out and buy sections to impress other people. I got to go and buy the nicest clothes, the nicest shoes, the nicest watch, the nicest car, when you can't even afford it. Because you're not willing to pay the price. You're not willing to sacrifice. It doesn't mean you're going to live like this forever. It doesn't mean you're going to have to drive a shitty car forever. It doesn't mean you have to wear regular clothes forever. It doesn't mean you can't go out and pop bottles forever. But it's a period of time in which life requires sacrifice. And if you're not willing to pay that price, that's okay. But just accept the fact that you're not going to get what it is you want. And if you're going to go to sleep and you have hate or envy in your heart, then understand that the only person you need to be mad at is the man in the mirror. You need to look him dead in the eyes and tell him, you weren't willing to pay the price. You weren't willing to sacrifice. So don't complain. Don't be mad. Don't be angry. Don't be envious when other people are winning and achieving what it is you want. Because at the end of the day, you didn't put in the work. You didn't sacrifice. You didn't do what it takes. Because what do you think? You're going to get something and it's not going to be an even exchange. You're just not going to sacrifice anything. You're going to be living exactly the same how you are, no sacrifice, and you're just going to get everything you want out of life. You think you're going to get a nice body. You're not going to sacrifice the Twinkies. You're not going to sacrifice time and effort to go into the gym and work out. And you think you're going to get what you want. You think you're going to become a better communicator, a more effective communicator, and you're not reading. You're not practicing. You're not listening to audiobooks on communication. There is no such thing as something for nothing. And sometimes you might get used by people in that way. But as far as life goes, you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice. And that means giving up certain things for a period of time. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And I know a lot of people say, you're not going to take money with you when you die. Those are people who don't have the sacrificing mentality. They can't sacrifice to get to the next level. If you listen to those people, if you listen to them, you're going to stay stuck. Oh, you're not even going to take it with you when you die. That is true. You might die. You don't know when you're going to die. But are you really going to be betting your life on that mentality? Because let's say you live for the next 60 years and you were living your 20s with that mentality. And now you're 60 years old, 70 years old, 80 years old, and now you're still working a shit job. I've worked with people who are 80 years old. Shit jobs. 9 to 5. And these people are still working these jobs. Do you want to be that person? Do you want to be the guy who is 60, 70, 80 years old and you can't stop working because if you do, you're going to be homeless? Because you had the mentality that you can't sacrifice. You had the mentality that I'm not taking it with me when I die. All right. That's the message for today, guys. Make sure you learn to sacrifice. Make sure you learn to have a better mentality on these types of things. Learn to give the price that it takes. Learn to pay the price. Learn to do what it takes. All right, guys, like the video, comment down below, and subscribe.